Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to day number 2 of Mystery Week. Today's mystery is all the way from Chicago in America, and it's one that makes me so uncomfortable. It is so creepy. It's just really weird. I literally have goosebumps right now, like even thinking about telling you the story. Ooh, I don't know, it's really creepy, and it's not even that scary, but because of how creepy it is, it makes it scary. Our story starts on the 22nd of November 1987 when, for reasons still unknown to this day, someone hacked 2 local stations in Chicago. On that day, the Bears, which I believe is a baseball team in America, I don't know, I'm not really into sports, so I think it's a baseball team because there's the Cubs and the Bears, so I think the Bears is a baseball team. Feel free to correct me and make fun of me in the comment section down below. I really don't mind. I'm not a sports fan, so I don't know much about sports. But yeah, on that day, the Bears had won one of their games and the sportscaster was relaying that to the viewers. At 9:14 p.m, screens suddenly went black. For a little bit of time, there was no audio, no visuals, and then all of a sudden, there was a screeching sound as if a chainsaw was being held against a metal, and there was also sort of like radio static playing in the background, but at this time the screen was still black. And then a man appeared on screen, and this man was wearing a Max Headroom mask. So for those of you that don't know who Max Headroom is, Max Headroom was a fictional character that appeared on TV shows and movies in the 1980s. I think I find this particular story so creepy because it reminds me of that scene on The Purge. I think it's The Purge election year, where the group of people come to the house wearing like masks of different presidents and things like that, and then they come in to try and murder their entire family. So that the Max Headroom masks makes me think of that all the time. So it's really creepy to me. It makes me so uncomfortable. I hate thinking about it. I hate watching that movie because of that scene, and I'm someone who loves creepy movies, horror movies and things like that. Obviously that's why I've got a whole true crime section on this channel. But yeah, that stuff really creeps me out. I don't like masks and anything like that. The masked individual remained on screen, completely silent, for a little under 30 seconds before the news channel was able to regain control of the broadcast. While this guy was on screen, he was staring directly at the camera, and it looked as if he was staring directly at the viewer, but he was staring at the camera, but he was wearing glasses, so you couldn't see his eyes or anything like that. He was wearing a mask, and he was wearing like a slicked back wig, and he was wearing dark sunglasses. You couldn't see his eyes, you couldn't see his hair, you couldn't see any identifying features. Just creepy guy in a creepy mask. So when they regained control of the broadcast, Dan Roan, who was actually the sportscaster by the way, he sort of laughed the incident off because he had no idea that this had happened. He wasn't watching the screen because he was supposed to be on screen at the time. He knew that an interruption had occurred, but he didn't know what the interruption was. So he just laughed it off and he was like, haha, if you guys are wondering what happened, so am I. But anyway, let's carry on with the broadcast. The Bears won, woohoo. And the studio heads at the time, they thought that it was someone inside the building doing this. They thought it was an inside job, inside sabotage. So they checked the whole studio, they checked the whole building, and they couldn't find anything. As it turns out, this broadcast was pre-recorded, and then the interruption was brought in, and then the clip played, but it was pre-recorded. All of this, by the way, was happening on Channel 9. Everything continued as normal on that channel for the rest of the evening, but 2 hours later, a similar incident occurred. This time on Channel 11. Both Channel 9 and Channel 11 were owned by the same broadcasting company. This later incident at 11 p.m. occurred during a Doctor Who broadcast. And if the first incident was weird, this one was even weirder.
So tried, but it's the only way to learn.
I'll get you a hot drink, miss.
Some dry clothing.
So it started with the person on screen again, but this time the person spoke, and the first thing he said was, "That does it. He's a frickin' nerd." And it's assumed that by saying this he was referring to Doctor Who, because for those of you that watch Doctor Who, you know Doctor Who is a bit of like a nerdy show. It's a really cool show though. Then things got even weirder than that. The person on screen started reciting phrases from different brands. So he took a Pepsi can and he was drinking Pepsi, but he was reciting the Coke brand. At the time, Max Headroom was sort of like the spokesperson for Coke, or yeah, he was running campaigns for Coca-Cola. This person was also singing lyrics from different songs and saying different lines from different movies and TV shows. Just being random, like so random. After doing a couple of more creepy things, the camera cut to a man's torso with part of his naked butt exposed, and then the Max Headroom mask was held up to the camera so you couldn't see the man's face. The man attached to the butt, I suppose. He screamed, "They're coming to get me." To this, a woman who was off screen responded by saying, "Bend over, bitch." And then she started spanking him with a fly swatter while he continued to scream. If I was watching this at the time, my first thought would be, these people are on drugs. Like, whatever's happening at that studio, whoever's controlling this broadcast, whoever made this video is on some crazy drugs, or there's just something wrong. Like, why would you do any of this? What is the point of any of this? I'm so confused. I'm confused now. I would be even more confused then, because I'm just happily watching Doctor Who, trying to travel through space and time, you know, doing my normal daily things, and then there's a person wearing a mask being spanked with a fly swatter. Most people found this whole thing funny. Obviously, Doctor Who fans didn't find it funny. They were quite irritated that their show got interrupted. Network heads also didn't find this funny. They ended up getting the FBI involved because apparently this was a violation of federal law. It had a maximum of 1 year imprisonment with a $100,000 fine attached to it. The authorities managed to solve most of the aspects of this case, except for who was responsible and why they even did this in the first place. Like, why did they do something so weird, so creepy, so random? Why are people like this? So they figured out that the culprit managed to hack the broadcast by placing an antenna or an aerial between the transmitter tower. They also figured out that the footage was shot in a warehouse district, and they figured this out because they could see the doors in the background. So the doors were like the roll-up doors that you would find in warehouse district, and they narrowed it down to a couple of warehouses that had these doors. They couldn't definitively prove which warehouse it was, but they narrowed it down to a specific area. So that's all the information we have for this very weird, very creepy, very random incident. That's all of the information. So I just want to get onto the theories now. The first theory is that a guy by the name of Eric Fournier was responsible for this broadcast interruption. Fournier was the creator of a fictional character named Shay St. John. Shay St. John was a fictional character, like I said, who was disfigured in a car accident and then recreated her body using mannequin parts. Supporters of this theory say that Fournier's bizarre videos are similar to the style of this very strange broadcast, and they also say that it's similar because in both of Fournier's videos and this broadcast masks were used, but I don't really think that proves anything. There's lots of different TV shows that use people in masks, so I don't know what Fournier would have to do with that. And also people that knew Fournier personally said that he had no experience with television broadcast or anything like that, and they don't even think he was in Chicago at the time of the incident anyway. Another theory is that the hack was targeted at the government to show them the military implications of satellite hacking. This is a pretty strong theory, but I don't understand why they would use a TV station during a sports broadcast or during Doctor Who. I don't understand why they would use Max Headroom. I don't understand why they would spank someone with a fly swatter to show them this. But the third and final theory is that the hack was orchestrated by a rival network, and this theory makes the most sense to me. Probably doing it for the views, you know, to be like, haha, these people can't even maintain order of their own broadcast, we're better than them. But if that was the case, then surely the rival network would have taken responsibility for it and would have said something about it by now. It's been over 30 years. I have a feeling that they would have taken credit for it by now. Let me know your own theories in the comment section down below, and also let me know which of these 3 theories you think are the most likely to be true. Let me know what you think about this whole incident in general. I think it's really weird. It's really creepy. It's really strange. Before I end this video, I do want to mention less creepy hackings that also occurred. So the first one occurred in 1986 on the 27th of April, so this was even before the Max Headroom incident. This incident was orchestrated by someone going by the name of Captain Midnight, whose real name turned out to be John R. McDougal, and he was an operations engineer at the Central Florida Teleport Uplink Station. He was the first ever hacker to interrupt a broadcast signal, and he interrupted a broadcast signal because HBO had raised their monthly subscription prices, and he was very unhappy about this, so he decided to hack their networks and let them know just how unhappy he was about them raising their prices. In 2007, the New Jersey broadcast of the Handy Manny cartoon was interrupted. Handy Manny is a Playhouse Disney cartoon, so it's targeted at little children. The people who interrupted the broadcast decided to show pornographic images on a children's network in the daytime when children could potentially be watching, and children were watching. So yeah, that did not go down well. In 2009, the Tucson broadcast of the Super Bowl was interrupted, and once again, viewers were subjected to pornographic images. If I were to hack a broadcast, not that I'm saying that I'm gonna hack a broadcast, so please don't say that I'm gonna hack a broadcast, but if I were to hack a broadcast station, I wouldn't put porn on it because porn is so easy to find on the internet. I don't know, I'd put something with sense. I'd put a message about the high prices of petrol, about the high prices of bread, about the high prices of HBO, just like McDougal did, which, you know, the first protest of its kind. That does bring us to the end of this video. I hope you did enjoy it, and I hope you're enjoying Mystery Week. If you are enjoying Mystery Week, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and give this video a big thumbs up so that I know to do more videos like this, so that I know that you guys want more Mystery Weeks in the future. I do intend on doing more Mystery Weeks in the future. Make sure that you also follow me on social media so you can get updates on when these types of videos will be coming out, on how the schedule of Mystery Week is gonna be going. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next Mystery Week video. Bye!